All right. Hey, everybody. Give me a second. I'm going to share my screen. Just want to make sure this is working good. Give me one quick second. Let me pop over to my screen here. Happy Friday, everyone. Say hello. Let me just make sure. Okay, perfect. And I want to just share this over to my Facebook group also really quickly. Say hi as you join. Let me know you're here. Give me hashtag replay, hashtag live. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Really excited. Wanted to do something I thought would be fun. I'm actually going to go live really quickly here to share just a peek, like a behind the scenes. So I'm actually working on a bunch of freebies for you guys, all around organic social selling, how to find qualified leads online organically, and also how to get more clients, make more money, and prevent objections. So what I'm doing, I'm just pulling this up on Facebook so I can make sure we're good to go. You guys can hear me. What I want to do is I just want to go through really quickly. I wanted to take you guys behind the scenes a little bit, and I actually wanted to share with you one of the freebies I'm working on. I'm not going to share it all because I'm still working on it, but I was just, as I was typing this, I'm like, oh, this needs to be said, and I want you guys to hear this. So this is my objection prevention method training. This is part of my sales matrix, but this is a piece of the preventing objections. And so what I wanted to do is share this one little part with you. And this is literally something you could do right now today. Like you could go actually listen to this and take it off into your invitations, into your social content today, into your conversations, and literally generate consults or sales conversations, new clients from this. Okay, so wanted to share it really quickly. As soon as this is done, you can absolutely for free get the whole workbook. But what I want to do is walk you through this really important part. And you can see it is number one in my objection prevention method training. It's the very first thing. How do we prevent these objections? And obviously, I'm not going to go through this whole training here with you, but because like I said, it's going to be complete soon, and you can literally, in exchange for your email, you can get this whole thing for free. What I want to do is walk you through this first part, your invitations, right? What do I mean by that? When you are extended an invitation for someone to come work with you, for someone to explore possibly working together, right? So you have a program, you have a service, you have an offer, you have a thing that you've opened up, and you're inviting people to check it out, to possibly consider making the investment to work with you. That is what I call an invitation. Okay, it's not a pitch, it's an invitation. You are inviting people to make a decision or choice if they want to check out your thing or not, right? That is an invitation. So that's what we call it here in my company and with my clients, because it feels good, but that's also what you should be doing, right? So we're not pitching, we're not selling, we're extending invitations. So one of the reasons that people get a lot of objections, and again, this book, this PDF here, this book is going to tell you all the reasons you get objections and how do we prevent them. But the very first one, this one here, is the way that you are positioning. It's your invitations. It's the way you position this. And so this is what I wanted to share just really quickly with you guys, is this first part right here, because I think this is so important. I think it is so critical that we learn how to do this in a way that works with human behavior, not against it, right? Because sales is all about human behavior. People are making emotional decisions here, right? And so when we are not positioning our invitations the right way, it can create a lot of sales resistance, hesitation, doubt, objections, questions, fear, all kinds of things. And to the point where people are paralyzed and they give you an objection, they can't make the investment, right? And or whatever other objection you might get in your industry. So what we want to do, and again, I am anti-objection. And what I mean by that is I'm not going to normalize objections. It is not normal. Now, you might get an objection from time to time, and that might be normal because maybe you didn't do a good job at the things we're going to talk, that you can learn inside of this objection prevention method, you might not have done a good job on these things. It could also just be that someone is really, really struggling. But most of your conversations should not be ending with objections, okay? And so I'm not going to normalize it. If you are doing a good job at what you do, then you're not going to get very many of these common objections that people get. You're not going to get very many of them. And when you do get them, it won't be strong, right? It's not going to be a strong objection. It'll be more like a question, and they just need some guidance versus straight up objections, which is what most of you are getting. I'm not normalizing that. It's ridiculous. You shouldn't be experiencing that, okay? That's not part of sales. So number one is the invitation, okay? Again, if you're on social media, then 90% of your invitations are being done, in a post, in a video, in email, stories, maybe a mix of those things. And so the positioning is extremely important, because if you are, if you're not doing a good job at this, then no one's taking the next step, right? It's not like you're sitting across the room, for most of you, face to face with people and having a conversation. And even then, when my clients send me the recordings of like their consultations, and they're, whether it's in the DM or it's on Zoom or face to face or whatever, there's a lot of opportunity to improve. There's a lot of areas they could be doing better, and that would eliminate those objections and get them to actually conversions. So what I want you to hear is the invitation, regardless of how you're given it. Okay. The invitation is the very first, most important part of preventing objections from coming up to begin with. Okay. So you want your invitation to be clear. You want it to be specific, and there's some elements to it that need to exist. Okay. So one of the first things here that I have in here is that we're showing up online and we're putting ourselves out there and we're promoting. I put air quotations here, promoting, because I think it's inviting, it's not promoting. And again, that's a mindset shift. But if you go around like, oh, I'm promoting and marketing and promoting and pitching, like that probably feels pretty gross. And it probably doesn't feel good. So I like to say I'm inviting. I'm putting out lots of invitations today. Feels so much better. And it is what I'm doing. I'm not promoting or pitching. I'm inviting people. I'm extending an invitation for people to work with me. And, I don't have to do that. So it's an invitation. Okay. So here's the thing. A lot of people are asking other people to take time out of their day to talk to us about our thing. And that is the very first little part here that I want you to see and really just kind of own this for a second. You're putting out, let's, for the sake of all of you guys, just call it promotions, pitches, whatever. You're putting those out there. I call them invitations to ask people to talk to you about your thing. So if you read that, it's very self-serving because it's all about us and our thing. Now, the problem with that is sales is not about us. And I say this all the time. I'm going to continue to say it until it resonates with more people, because this is the key to generating more clients and more sales that are qualified and preventing objections from happening to begin with, is that we have to understand that we need to take ourselves out of the sales equation. We need to stop getting so emotionally attached. And we also need to understand human behavior. So you have to understand on a deep level, okay, the way that people make buy-in decisions. You have to understand that you can say certain things to trigger objections, resistance, hesitation, doubt, fear, right? You can say things that trigger that. You can also say things that squash those things before they even come up. That's human behavior. If you don't understand how to communicate effectively with people in the words that you're using, then you're creating objections for yourself. right? That's the important work that I do with my clients is I go through their stuff and I look and I pick apart these words and I ask them, how does that word feel to you? And what does this word mean, right? When you read this, how does it feel? What is it that you're saying here? What's your intention with this? Because the way that you speak and the words that you use and the way that you say things to other people are going to create the response that you receive, and you are in control of that, right? So when someone comes to me and they're like, oh my God, I'm getting so many objections. Number one, you are creating those objections. And until you own that and stop blaming other things and people, until you own that, you can't change it, right? So until we change it, you're going to continue to get the same result, the same response, the same outcomes. You have to own that you might be saying things in a way that is triggering people to give you these responses. And that can be changed. That's why I tell people sales is about communication. It's a transformational thing, not a transactional. It's emotional, not logical. You have to understand this because this is sales. I mean, at a basic level, this is sales, right? You have to know how to communicate to people in a way that makes them feel a really good way. Okay. And if you're not doing that and you're just being bro marketing and salesy and pitchy, and you're using tactics from door-to-door salesmen 20 years ago, that's the problem. And also, most of you who are getting all these objections and are, going around extending these pitchy invitations, you don't even feel good doing it. So it's like, let's just stop doing that. So the very first thing here is you never want to be self-serving in your content. You never want to just be like this quick pitcher, this person who drops these quick pitches all over the place, this person who's like bro marketing. Like, it's nasty. Like, no one is doing that today. No one is like loving that energy. No one is soaking that stuff up. So what we want to do is we want to remember that this is not about you, right? This is not about, I need to create this result for myself and I need this many sales and I want to make this much money and I want to sell. Like, you have to stop. You have to stop doing that. And you really need to focus on, I am trying to serve people. I want to help people. And so sales is just about finding and solving problems. But here's the second part to that. You're finding and solving problems that people actively want solved. That's the key. You're not going to get people to make an investment who don't think they have a problem. Because when you make an investment, you're investing in a solution, a result, an outcome, not your program. They're not investing in your program. They're not investing in you. And I'm going to show you some example of a good invitation and a bad one in a second. Not in that order, a bad one, then a good one. But what I want you to understand here is no one's buying you. I don't care who tells you that. No one's buying you. When I bought my brand new car, I didn't buy the sales guy. I bought the car. Okay. And what decided if I bought that car was if the sales guy was going to be shitty or not. Okay. So that's what matters. Your attitude and the way you speak to people is everything to them making the decision. Here's the thing. They're already actively looking. That's why they're having a conversation with you. That's why they're taking time out of the day to talk to you. That's why they're asking questions. They're checking out your stuff. They're actively looking. And here's the thing. They will buy. Those people will make an investment. But rather they invest in you or someone else, that's up to you. That is up to you. And that's going to come down to your invitation, your attitude, and the way you speak to people. Okay. So even at just a very basic level, you've got to understand sales. You have to understand psychology and you have to understand human behavior. You need to know how to talk to people. And so what we want to do is just shift the mindset to go from selling and pitching to just serving and solving problems. You're literally going to groups of people that are actively looking for a solution to a problem they've identified that they want solved. Because if they don't want it solved or they don't see that they have a problem, guess what? It doesn't matter how great you market. It doesn't matter how awesome your program or services are. It doesn't matter how much you work and how much content you put out. It doesn't matter how great your conversations are or your invitations. None of that is going to matter if the person you're speaking to does not think they have a problem, or if they don't think the problem is great enough or risky enough to actually invest in a solution for it, right? You're not going to go out today and buy a brand new vehicle just because your neighbor did, or just because for the hell of it, like, or just because your mom said you should, or just because the vehicle you have now is not the best vehicle in the world. Until you feel that the vehicle you have right now or don't have is a massive problem, and until you tell yourself in your head, you know what, I need to find a new vehicle, until you make that statement in your head or out loud, you're not going to go look for a vehicle. So if someone came to you and said, hey, I have a vehicle, and you're not looking for a vehicle, and you don't think there's a problem with yours, you have zero interest in the vehicle they're talking about. You don't have any interest whatsoever, right? Because you're not in the market for that. So I need you guys to just understand, and I wanted to just make this clear before I get into all this. I just want to make this clear, like, you know, we are not going around trying to get people to do something that we want them to do. We're not going around trying to tell people, hey, you have a problem. And like, that's not your job. And you're not changing anybody until they're ready to change. So the people that you're talking to absolutely need to be saying, I have that problem. But not only do I have that problem, I actually want it solved also. Like, I'm actually looking for a solution, right? So again, you're finding and solving problems. When you're putting out these invitations, we're really looking at partnering together, you and I, to solve your problem. But if you don't want it solved and you don't see it as a problem, then all the things I say is kind of gibberish. It doesn't really hold any value for you, right? If I tell you I can help you get more qualified clients online and I can help you make more money, if you don't feel like you need more clients, if you don't think you need to make more money, and or if you think you can just do this by yourself, or you think, no, you know, I'm doing some things, so I want to keep doing that. I want to keep testing, whatever it is. Then it doesn't matter what I say. You're not going to take up my invitation. It's not going to hold value to you. And here's the beautiful thing with this. Because it doesn't hold value to you, it has absolutely nothing to do with me. It is not a representation of my value or the value of my services. Has nothing to do with me. You're not actively seeking this solution, or you don't see it as a non-negotiable, like a priority right now. And that is 100% on you. That has nothing to do with me. And I want you guys to take that home right now. Take that to the bank, because that's what you need to understand about selling. You get too attached to people's decisions and you make it so much about yourself. And we need to remember, sales is not about us. It is not about you. So if someone is telling you, no, thank you, you know, sounds great, but I'm not interested, I would love to, but, you have to understand that is not a reflection of anything to do with you. That's their choice. Do you think the car dealership down the street is going to shut down and say, oh my God, lower the prices because Ann came in here and didn't buy our Mercedes today? No, they don't give a shit. They're going to keep doing their job every day because it's not about them, right? There's plenty of people that do want to buy new vehicles. There's plenty of people actively looking every day. They're not going to put all their focus on someone who's not even interested. They're going to focus on the people that are driving through the lot. They're looking around. They're filling out the credit report. They're filing papers. They're sitting down talking. They're sitting in the vehicles. They're test driving them. They're going to put all their attention on those people because those people are actively looking. They're not going to sit and chase me down the street and be like, please buy our car, right? Like, that's nasty. So let's just stop doing that. We have to understand, just even at a basic level, even at the very basic, what sales is and what this means, what it is you're doing. This changes the game for you. This will change everything for you if you change your mindset. Because when you change the way you think about sales, you change the way you do sales. Take that in for a minute. When you change the way you think about sales, you change the way you do sales. Now, if any of you want to type that into Facebook or Instagram and tag me and give me some props for that statement, give me a shout out for that, give me some credit for that, do that, and I'll put you in the ring to win something cool with me, okay? But you got to screenshot and you got to give me credit for that, shout me out. You got to share it on Facebook or Instagram, tag me, but feel free to do that. And, we'll put your name in the ring for a cool prize, okay? But what I want you guys to understand here is this isn't about you. So your invitations will look different when you think different, okay? So now what I want to do, and this, guys, this objection prevention guide is going to be freaking gold, because it's going to change everything you think and do sales, right? It's going to change the game for you. And it's going to help educate you on just the basics of like sales, which is something that I've studied human behavior, sales psychology for 21 years. I've done it for 21 years in multiple companies, from startups to 9 figures. And I've done it in several of my own businesses. This is all I've done my whole life. And it's some work. It takes some work, but if we could just get you guys understanding the basics, we can really start to up-level your mindset around sales. So let's go in. So the invitation is number 1. Let's go into, I wanted to share with you a bad example of an invitation, okay? Because I really wanted you to get I want you to hear and see the bad versus the good so you can start to understand the shift, okay? So here's a bad example of an invitation. So for those of you tuning in, when I say invitation, for you, you might think it's a pitch, it's a promotion. I like to call them an invitation. So let's go ahead and say, I'm putting this out, okay, on my social media to invite people to come work with me for something I have available. So let's go through this. I want you to listen to the words, guys. Just sit back for a second and pretend you're reading this. And I want you to kind of feel it, and I want you to listen to it for a second. So take away strategy, take away what you're going to say. I actually want you to just sit silent for a second. I want you to feel and listen to what I'm saying. Okay, because this is where you're going to have a shift right away. I am so excited about a program I just created and am finally able to share it with all of you. It is my best work yet. And my clients are getting the best results ever using my system to generate X results. If you want X results, you should definitely check out my program called ABC and sign up right away before I increase the price to double in X days. Click the payment link below to sign up. Now, if you want to share below, replay or on live, how that made you feel or what you think, maybe you think that was great. I don't know. But I'm going to tell you that this is a really bad invitation, and I'm going to tell you why. Okay, I'm going to tell you why, the reasons why this is not good. So here's what's wrong with it. It's 100% focused on me. Or if you wrote this, it's 100% focused on you. You notice in here, I, all of you, my best work, my clients, my system. I mean, literally, you could go through these 2 paragraphs and all I talk about is me, my clients, my program. That's all I talk about. No one cares about that. We just talked about this. No one's buying you, so they don't care about you. No one is buying your program, so they don't care about your client results and all that stuff. Yes, those are good layers to include once you've done a good invitation. But the invitation is not your client testimonial. The invitation is not how awesome you are. And the invitation is not you or your program. That's the problem that entrepreneurs cannot understand today. They're just not getting this. And this is the problem, right? So that's the problem with this, is it's all about It's all about you. It's all about your clients, your program, your results, your system, you're so excited. Why are you so excited? I mean, like, that's the thing too with like sales is everyone tells you get so excited, be so excited. And it's like, I don't actually like getting into a sales conversation with somebody who's overexcited. It's like, what are you so excited about? Like, calm the F down, right? It's actually creates sales resistance when you're overexcited. I am so excited. Like, it's too much. Don't be so overexcited, guys. Chill out a little bit. You're not actually that excited. So you have to calm down. Okay. This is neutral. When you are too amped up and excited for someone you've never spoke to before, and you're getting ready to have a sales conversation with them about partnering and working together, your overexcitement creates a massive, like, it freaks them out and it creates a massive level of resistance. Okay. That's why you can have a really good conversation and then they give you an objection at the end and they don't end up buying and then you never hear from them again. You freaked them out. Okay. So that's the first part. The other thing is, you're not really, the positioning isn't there for like benefits, like what's in it for me, like who is this really for? Like you're speaking to everybody, right? Like right here, we said, finally able to share it with all of you. And then all you did was say, my clients are getting the best results ever using my system. That doesn't tell the person jack about anything. It still isn't having me signal, oh, this is for me. Oh my God, I want those kind of results. Oh, this is for me. She's speaking to me right now. You're just speaking to like yourself about you and your clients and your system, right? So it's not positioned properly. It's all positioned towards you. It's not clear about who this is for, what it is, what the benefits are, what I'm going to get. It just has a lot of like pitchiness to it and bro marketing to it. It's speaking to the masses. It doesn't feel like a genuine or intentional invitation, right? If you went to your neighbor and you gave them an invitation to come to a house party that you were having, like, is this what you would say? Would you be like, I am so excited that I am throwing a house party in my gorgeous house. My home is so beautiful that everyone loves to come and spend time in my house all the time. And if you want to spend time in my house, I'm having a party at my house this week. And it's for everyone in the neighborhood. If you want to come, then RSVP here immediately before I don't have any room to accept any more people in my house. Ugh. You know what I'd say? I don't want to go to your freaking house party anyway, snob. Like, I would not be down for that. Okay. I would not be down for that. I'd be like, great. We moved into a shitty neighborhood with shitty people, right? Like, that's not how you would extend an invitation. So why would you come on Facebook or Instagram or social media and extend an invitation like that for people to not just come check you out and get on the phone with you, but pay you? Like, that's ridiculous, right? Okay. Let's talk about, so inside of my programs working with my clients, I wouldn't give a stamp of approval. If you came to me and said, here is an example for an invitation I want to put out, can I get your feedback, your critique? I would not approve this. It would not get my stamp of approval. Now you can do whatever you want, but I wouldn't approve this. Not from my clients, in my reputation inside my program, this would not be approved. Let's talk about a really good example as we wrap up. Okay. And I mean, seriously, I've showed you two things out of this entire like multiple page workbook here. It's going to blow your minds. And if you want the copy of this when it's done, just comment below objection prevention workbook, and we'll get it to you. Okay. As soon as it's released, which will probably be like next week. So good example of an invitation. I might say this. Now, again, I want you to sit and just listen and feel the words I'm saying, please. Okay, because this is where you will get it. You'll connect the dots. If you listen and you feel what I'm saying, you will connect the dots. Here are 3 tips to help my fellow coaches get more clients and make more money online in just an hour a day. And then I give 3 tips. Comment below and let me know which one you'll start using right away. Excited to hear your responses. Oh, and by the way, wanted to share that I've opened up 3 spots for private coaching with me over the next 4 months. Amazing humans I work best with are coaches and service providers who are social savvy, coachable, love to serve and make great money doing so, and are actively looking to get more clients and make more money on social now. If this is you and you're actively on social and searching for ways to get more qualified clients and make more money online, I would love to explore if what we're doing over here would be a solution to what you're trying to do over there. To make sure it's an absolute aligned fit, it's by application only. You have zero obligation by filling out this application. It just allows you and I to see if partnering together to help you get more qualified clients and make more money online would be a great fit. Click the link to apply below and we can go from there. Best in like all day. That would get my stamp of approval a million times over and over and over and over and over again. There are so many beautiful right things with this, okay? Like literally, this is it right there. Just post that stuff all day. These are good because number one, I gave some value. Now, here's the thing. This works so good. You could take these tips and this value out and you could just say, hey, by the way, I wanted to share that I've opened up, and then you could just give this. So this right here is the actual invitation. I like to include some value, but sometimes I take this out and I just give the invitation. But when it's beautifully written like this, I'm getting people to weed themselves in and out without being a dick about it. Like I'm saying, if you're this person and you want this and you're actively looking, great. Let's fill out the application. There's no obligation. Let's just fill this out and let's see if partnering together is a good fit. Notice I use this neutral language. This is part of human behavior, by the way, you guys. Notice that I used this language right here where I said, let me find it, where I said we are partnering together, right? I used words like that. I also used words like, if like right here, if you're actively, right, looking, and then I said this, I would love to explore if what we are doing, and I'm going to bold this in here because this is the most important piece. I would love to explore if what we're doing over here would be a solution to what you're trying to do over there. This is a neutral question or a neutral statement. This is neutral language. This puts all of their sales resistance to rest. And they're like, wow, right? It puts them at ease because there's not a single word or energy inside of this statement that is pitchy, that's making assumptions about anything. It is this is a perfect divine invitation. And this is the type of stuff with my clients that I will approve. I will give my stamp of approval all day on this type of stuff because it's so beautifully, intentionally, and genuinely written. And that's what you need to learn. Because you can put 300 of these out, 300 all day in 7,000 Facebook groups, and you're going to get diddly squat. You start putting just a couple of these out, and you're going to have an overwhelming response of applications, questions, requests, people that want to talk. Because it's so neutral and it's such a beautiful invitation. Okay, so it's very well written. This is what I have my clients do when I'm like, and there's so many different ways to say it. So like in my programs with my clients, we'll create so many variations, right? So you're not saying exactly the same thing all the time, but I can tell you this, my clients are using this kind of language in every single invitation. So there are elements to this that you're going to use every time, but we have variations of these examples so you can have some things to play with. So this is just really important. All right, that's what I wanted to share with you guys. Nothing else here for you today. Just want to let you know, I'm creating so many freebies right now. This objection prevention method, this is one of my workbooks that I'm creating for you guys. This is one out of like, I think 12 or so that I've got going on right now. And if this is one that you want to get your hands on, the objection prevention method, it will literally, it covers everything. So it's going to cover all the things that you need to be doing differently in your invitations to prevent objections. And it starts with this invitation, which we just went over pretty good in depth here today. So wanted to share this with you as I dive into creating the rest of these, which I'm just having a great time doing. I'm really excited to get this out into the hands of everybody. It should be ready next week. So just, yeah, like share this below, comment below. If you want this, just put objection prevention workbook, please. We're just going to tally that up. And then as soon as it's ready next week, I'll go ahead and send you the link to sign up and get this. It's free. It's totally free. You just have to put your name and email in. But we'll have you go ahead and get signed up so you can get the access to this. And it's a pretty in-depth workbook, but it's going to change your life. It's going to change your sales, your results, your energy, your conversations, your mindset, your knowledge around sales and stuff. So this is going to be gold for you if you're a coach or a service provider and you're using social media to sell. So DMs, sales conversations, it doesn't matter. That sales is sales. So definitely let me know below if you want that. I hope this is really helpful for you guys. I'm happy to share it. I can't wait to get it out to you guys. All right, I'll see you all soon. Have a fantastic Friday and weekend. We'll talk soon. Bye, everybody.